It's the exact same because all you're doing is holding the button down. So
yeah, the best you can hope for with the dagger is a whip dagger on for the similar frame input, so you can kind of increase your damage output a little bit. But...
All right, looks like we are off.
Nice one.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see whip upgrades right off the bat for both players. Basically, any small heart candle can drop whip upgrades or sub-weapon multipliers. You just need to have the proper requirements fulfilled before that'll actually happen.
And like I said earlier, if anybody was still here, you'll know exactly what I'm going to say. Stage 1 is very, very technical. It is our current reset hell because not everything goes perfectly, at least for me. I'm like, oh my god, if I don't get it at least a 238 on the stage, I'm going to be mad at myself. So I want to reset constantly. And the most mistakes can be made on the stage very easily. But at least if you make mistakes here, you can easily reset and not have to worry about losing that much time.
Vruche? Yeah, Vruche is going really ballsies with just 1 pixel of health left, but luckily that fireball doesn't travel him that fast.
Oh god!
I haven't seen that in a race before. That was,
I hadn't either.
Yeah, so he happened to take the hit and die on the same frame that he hooked onto the ring, and the game won't check if you're dead until your feet hit the ground again after that. So he was kind of in a limbo state. Luckily not losing too much time, and able to pick up another cross to take down the boss a little bit quicker. It is unfortunate though.
About 20 seconds.
Yeah.
That's, oh god, though. Seeing that in a race, that's humbling. There's no other words for that other than that. Good lord, that just sucks.
Yeah, but it kind of takes the edge off. Once you die in stage 1, you can just kind of relax because it's not going to get much worse than that.
This is true. This is very, very true.
Nice Medusa head boosts on Skipsy's side. Medusa head boosts are really cheap and efficient ways to just save a few frames. Every forward boost is going to save a little less than half a second, like 0.1 to 0.3 seconds.
And the good thing about them, they only do 1 damage to you.
Yeah.
Instead of like some of the other enemies that do normally 3 damage.
And Skipsy gets the optimal kill here too. Gets the Rodane horse dead immediately. And then on top of that, Rodane goes down very, very quickly. No jumps, nothing like that. So, very good kill there. And Vruche is making his way into Rodane's chamber at this point as well.
Just a little quick update. Both of these are in the EU time, so they should be feeling wide awake. I think it's like 6 or 7 p.m. over there. Good time.
Oh, your guess is better than mine.
Yeah, it's 6 or later.
I really did not do a time check there. I should have done that. I want to know how far ahead Skipsy is right now. It's like I said, it's close to 20 seconds or so. Next screen, I'll check it on it though.
I actually don't know if he was somehow able to pick up that meat before he touched the ground, if he would have been saved or not.
Yes, he would have been saved.
He would have been saved?
Yes.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
Like you said, it doesn't check for your life until your feet hit the floor. So if he'd have grabbed that and then the feet would have hit the floor right after that, he'd have been good.
Yeah, there's a bug in this game which doesn't really come up very often because they didn't make the levels to have it show up. But if you're swinging off the bottom of the screen off of a ring, you can kind of die in midair from the kill zone underneath the stage. And again, it won't kill you until you let go of the ring.
So we're making our way through the swamp here. This is, good little track of music here. Not too bad. Probably the worst enemy in this section. Nah, I disagree with you on that one. Worst enemy here, I don't know if anybody else will agree with me, but it's the frogs. The frogs suck.
The frogs, I do agree. I do agree. Compared to other Castlevanias, at least these frogs are a little bit more tolerable than like Rondo of Blood.
Skipsy left the room at 4:40. Remember that. So So we'll see exactly what the time difference is after the Vruche kill here.
Hunting cross on Vruche's side, and he doesn't want to finish the screen with any more crosses.
21 seconds. So I was pretty close. It's a 21-second difference right now. Also, it looks like no, he's on pace. Never mind. I thought he was not on pace to be able to take all the boosts here, but he is. My eyes deceive me.
The gargoyles do 2 damage instead of 3, so yeah.
The least amount of time you spend in the water when it's pushing you backwards, the better, and the boost kind of help with that too. And stage 3 in the Mudmen.
My favorite stage. For stage, anyway. Not for music.
Well, stage 3's music might be a little underwhelming. It's still awesome that this one stage has 3 different tracks in it.
This is true. The second track's my favorite out of the 3, though.
Yeah, it's the most atmospheric, I think.
I could listen to that one probably all night long and not get tired of it. So typically in stage 3, what we're looking to do is not take very much damage in the first screen. Ultimately, about 2 boosts is what we want to take, no more than that. If you take more than that, then you don't line up properly for the boost in the second section as well as the third section. And that's where all your time save comes from, is in the second and third sections. As you can see from Skipsy's scene over here, he gets the first boost, which is the fuzzball boost. The next one should be the dragon boost here, bone pillar boost, which he gets. And then the third one will be the eyeball boost in the next section.
Trying to get the ring glitch. Giving Vruche a little bit of time to catch up here.
Ring glitch can be a pain. If it's not done right the first time, you sit there and waste a lot of time trying to get it correct. And Vruche gets it on his first shot.
Mm-hmm. Closing the gap a little bit. That was an unlucky fishman spawn too on Skipsy's side. But it's kind of interesting the way that enemies move around. Normally, like the first couple choices that they make, you can kind of deal with the different random movements that they make. But the longer that they're live on screen, the more random and the less predictable they can be.
Very true. So Vruche gets the eyeball boost. And he's closed the gap once again. He was at 13 seconds on the last screen. He's about 8 seconds behind at this point. So that death is starting to look less and less arduous.
Yeah. It was just kind of unfortunate to have the merman like right there in the middle, and Skipsy just kind of stopped there.
Yeah, it's better to take that safely than to take a death, but it's still a time loss and an unlucky vicious fish spawn.
And we're synced up, boys. We're very, very close. Vruche is actually taking the lead by about a second and a half now.
Both players with the tight pixel jumps.
Yeah, I don't do that.
It's a lot more difficult than it looks like just to jump up those platforms.
Good quick kill from Vruche. And Skipsy makes quick work of him as well.
Yeah, nice cleanup. Your first 3 crosses there, the timing is pretty tight to have the Twin Vipers die nice and quickly.
And the visual cue you can look for there's a little mark on the far right platform, or far right column. Once the water gets even with that, that's when you typically want to jump. But you can also do it by timing seconds too.
I like hearing everyone's different ways of figuring out the timing for that. It's
What's
cool.
yours?
I wait for the water to be 3 pixels from the top of the next block.
Mine's the middle column.
So there you go. 3 completely different views on that one. So Vruche has made his way into Puexel. And again, as I said earlier, the key to be able to do this is as soon as the music stops, that's whenever you want to throw your crosses, and they will overlap properly. And if you are ducked, you actually will be able to get one more shot of damage in before the peanut hits you.
Or you can go for quick whips and always get 3 shots in.
Yeah, but that requires skill.
Oh, I see.
Notice why I don't do it. You daggum low percenters.
Hey, it works well for whip percentage too.
Yeah, whip only is all the new rage right now.
One of these days, maybe. I gotta get a sub 35 and I'll be happy.
The same here, actually.
I was on pace for it yesterday. And then 9 happened.
This is kind of the drink break room. Everyone gets a chance to have a little soda, a little coffee, a little something.
Little vodka. So not a whole lot happens here, other than just the rotating room happens. Then you go into the, what is it, Mode 7 room?
Mode 7 room.
Yeah.
For this room in particular, you kind of want to just move forward. Because that way, because the thing is, if you stop and pause for a second, the skeletons will start spawning a little bit closer.
She's playing it very, very scary here.
Yeah, he tried to jump over that guy, but got knocked back twice. Luckily, this meat's here to sort of help him on. And
yeah, but he can't take this next boost. That was awful anyway.
Yeah, how you move through this screen, you can kind of just think about it as a timer. And like, as long as you hold left the entire time, you'll have a pretty favorable pattern.
And we got a zip, boys!
Oh, there we go.
Alright, for those of you that do not know quite how the zip works, this is how it works. You get up there as quickly as you can. Simon is pushed into the top of the blocks, and he takes damage within the same frame or so. It ends up pushing him into the blocks, the game freaks out, sends him shooting to the left, push the opposite way on the key, and then you start shooting all the way to the right. Then you hold right and you're good. It's a little bit more complicated than the way I just made it sound, but it is basically how it goes. So, Vruche makes his way into the Coronat fight. Not necessarily the cleanest fight there, and as you just saw, he took damage even after Coronat was dead. And yes, it can kill you, and if it does, you have to restart from the beginning of 544, and it sucks. With no cross.
Yeah, it's pretty big, feels bad if that happens.
So Skipsy's made his way into Coronat as well. He's getting a pretty good little pattern here on him. Not quite optimal, but very close. Good kill for him as Vruche has made his way into the timer boss stage.
Oh, that's going to be early order? Alright, so I didn't see the Harpies for the first part for Vruche in stage 5, but if he got full health, it couldn't have been that bad.
Yeah, he said 2 spawn.
See how Skipsy deals with any Harpies? Oh, that's a low one.
Oh, that's a pain.
That's a high one, too. That's really, really rough.
Ooh, that's unfortunate for Vruche. And I'm telling you, Harpies have been on one lately. It's like they know there's a tournament or something. Alright, so that section looks kind of scary there. It shouldn't be very scary at all with Vruche going down to 2 pips of health, because you can very easily negate the skeleton with a whip because you throw across and then you can just throw your whip down and you're good. I've hardly seen any deaths there. It has happened, but it's very, very rare.
Skips is a little under on the health routing, so he's going to take the bottom path.
Meanwhile, Vruche has made it to the dance hall. I think I'm going to be quiet during this stage, honestly.
I like the music.
Music is great, for sure.
It's another stage with multiple music tracks, actually. This is sort of like the prelude into the Phantom of the Opera style music. Alright. He's looking pretty good, at least for a 2-cycle.
Not gonna lie, my heart just skipped a beat.
Yeah, he's not gonna push it for the 1 cycle. As far as races are concerned, 2-cycle is pretty safe. 1 cycle, you're really only saving about 4.5 seconds.
Alright, let's go, Skipsy. Get this thing. Get it, get it, get it.
That looks pretty good for a 2-cycle for him as well.
Yep.
I'm always really happy to see a race where the chandeliers are not attacking.
Amen to that. Alright, we can continue talking again. Whew. Man, that was scary. So, we've entered the green rooms here. This is the first place that you really have a secret that you can kind of rely on to be able to get your crosses back in case you do die. But there's a lot of things, if you don't do them just quite right, there are little traps here and there that are going to end up causing you a lot of pain, misfortune. Like, for example, if you don't throw your crosses right on those first set of dancers in the ectoplasm, they will knock you back into the axe, and then you are having a bad time.
Yeah, the worst part about picking up another sub-weapon is you lose your multiplier, so you go back to ground zero and you have a worse sub-weapon. It's just like a double whammy.
And unfortunately for Skipsy, he misses the bat boost. It doesn't save it a lot of time, but it does add. And, okay, well, he got a little lucky there. The axe despawned.
Yeah, I thought that axe was going to come back and harass him.
I did too. So Vruche made a pretty good trek through the hellway there.
How's he going to do the coffins? Do you think 1 boost?
Yeah, he'll
2
do
boosts?
it. He'll do it 1 boost.
It's still going to be a double. Not too bad though. As long as you make it through, you're fine. No back boosts. Almost an unlucky dancer spin there too. That was close.
Skipsy's having pretty good luck going through the hellway. Unfortunately, the cross timing there. I said something, of course, something bad happens. Takes damage from the red skeleton anyway.
Yeah, those guys hit for 4. The blood skeletons. They're not something you really want to take even like damage boost off of.
And the dancers are done. This is typically a DD pun area. What the crap, man?
Was that a boss?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I'm sure they'll figure something out. It's not like you can just waltz in and make a pun.
There we go. Alright, so stage 7, the long library. Vruche is going through it pretty swimmingly at this point. Everything is on, like, basically the world record page for the stage at this point. It's doing everything great. And one little slip up, as I said something. That's what I get for talking. Skipsy makes it through the dancers, and Vruche elects to skip the meat.
Yeah. This is always a scary stage to skip the meat, because if you skip that meat, every other meat is relatively far out of the way. At least further than that one is.
Book jump successful. Will Skipsy do the book jump?
Yeah, there's a big meat back there, where Vruche is passing right now. There's another big meat on the next screen.
Unless you have a double multiplier or a single multiplier, then it will be
True.
an extra multiplier up.
Oh, Skipsy. That's a tough place to get damage boosted around, because not only do you have to deal with the enemies, but like you're essentially always going to get hit a second time once you fall down there. There's just too many enemies to take them all out in time.
Oh, this is getting scary. Alright, I think he's good now. Vruche Vruche takes the axe boost. He's set up to kill Grackle quickly.
Yep.
Very good stage.
Grackle is a very random boss. Unless you have triple cross, it just doesn't matter again. So broken.
He may get one shot of damage on you. That's about it.
Almost guarantee we'll see the meat here. Yeah.
Yep. I was gonna say, if he doesn't get that meat there, he is ballsy.
Probably even see one of the big meats in that section. So Vruche is on to everyone's favorite stage in this game.
It's definitely my favorite one.
Skipsy teased me. I thought he was going for it.
He thought about it. I think he had to wait for it. Like he wasn't really sure for himself with that one.
Yeah, I don't
The thing is on like a death dare. The big thing is like if a death dare, you have to like figure out if you really want to go back. If you want to go back to the first screen to get the crossback, or proceed on with the axe.
Always just keep the axe and move forward.
Proceed forward. You waste too much time going back for the cross. Vruche was he wanted to do the 1-frame jump. He did it. He just waited. He's like, nah, I'll just see if it's gonna work or not.
Yeah, it's something you really want to be warmed up for. Otherwise, it's gonna cost you a lot more headache.
Yep, because you go back to the beginning screen of stage 8.
Skipsy electing to skip the big meats. Going to the smaller one there. Vruche coming up on the stair jump. He's gonna go for it.
Yes, he is, and he got it. From this point on, stage 8 is pretty trivial. The only thing that can really kill him from here is the Vegas Bridge.
I'm staying quiet on that one until we're past it.
He did in Vegas, he's good.
Still a bit of a troll spawn pattern.
Always. So Skipsy made his way through Grackle, got the orb, he's good, and Vruche has done away with stage 8's boss.
Yeah, we're about a stage apart at this point. Nice wide Triforce on Vruche's side too. See how Skipsy handles some of these damage boosts in stage 8. Good so far. He goes for the slightly safer one.
Yeah. Haven't seen that done in a while.
I think Level Engine's the only other one that does that too.
And we've made our way into the treasury. Sorry, I'm kind of absorbed by the music here. The stage is growing on me. Also, if you haven't noticed yet, there are ghosts in the foreground. Not so much the background, but the foreground. And they are there. As a runner, I don't notice them. But as a commentator, I notice them all the time now.
It's kind of true that they're not relevant, so you just kind of dismiss them. And they keep moving when you pause the game too. Alright, last couple screens of stage 9 for Vruche. We gotta go down deep before we go back up. No spike jump. Gonna go for the high block damage boost though.
That's hard to do.
It is. The timing for that is really tight.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Double back boost. Probably gonna get stuck at the end.
Yeah, this is a time loss of about 9 seconds. Come on, Vegas. All right. Skipsy made it through the Vegas Bridge. They should be set up to go. So So got the 1 damage on the bone dragon there, which is always nice. In order to get that 1 damage, you have to do that part pretty quickly. It has to be done pretty flawlessly as well. And on to the Zapbat fight. Kills him in an optimal spot, which that's what I was talking about earlier today. If you kill them at the optimal spot, then all you gotta do is just throw crosses, overlap them, throw a few whips, and it's over with. They go down very quickly, like a 10-pound sack of bricks. Meanwhile, Skipsy is on the back section of 9-1, so he's got to make it through one more screen, and he is going to be safe through a checkpoint. And stage A.
One of my favorite musics. I think it's a lot of people's favorite music track. Yeah.
Could not agree with you more.
Second best.
What's your first best in that case?
Stage 2.
All right.
The driving bass line is just too good.
So, in the clock tower, there's multiple ways to save time in this stage, and you can go through it the typical safe way, which is, you know, not doing anything crazy or ballsy. But if you go through it the dangerous way, there's ways to save upwards of about 15 to 20 seconds off of a regular time. Which, Vruche does not go for the quick ring grab there. He was set up to do it, but that's pretty precise. If it's not done perfectly, it is a death. You jump to your death.
It's actually pretty annoying to get back up to a triple cross on this stage.
Yep. Alright, so
there's a cross drop, but
he goes the quick ring cycle. There is a quicker ring cycle now that it's been introduced, where you do a ring glitch on top of the ring that you get on, and then you do faster grab. It's really, really hard to do though.
A lot of precision right there. Thanks to Cat for that.
So Vruche takes the safe way through the second section of rotating rings and bringing it to Octagon.
there's 4 spots you can spawn. 2 are good, 2 are annoying. Middle is the worst. At least it's not bandages.
Yeah, that would be pretty awful. Meanwhile, Skipsy's getting a good Zapbat. Well, what was a good Zapbat is turning into a decent one. And they both killed bosses at almost identical times. Oh! Vruche misses the orb. That's one of the orbs that you can grab early. Like, you can grab it as soon as it appears. And typically, the visual cue I use for that is whenever the last bandage is kind of halfway up the screen to that second pillar. And then just jump and you get it. Alright, so that brings Vruche to the final stage of the game, while Skipsy is 1 stage back. Both are on very good paces here.
Yeah, stage 6 can take roughly about 6.5 minutes. So Vruche is on a pretty good, like, 34 pace.
Alright, so we're into the hold up section of stage B. Again, if you weren't present earlier, you hold up in this section. The game tells you, hold up when you do that. Don't do anything else. If you do, you die.
Yeah, stairs are a little finicky. There's a couple spots where you can kind of hold a diagonal upwards and it should work, but you need to know exactly where those are.
He says a little. This game hates people.
Skipsy misses the platform.
That vertical ring section then.
Vruche seems really low on hearts here. I know he has a different way of doing some of these strategies, but ultimately, for my own personal sake here, I like to have around 38 to 40. He's got 36. So, still safe if he does everything perfectly.
That was a pretty slick play on Skipsy's side. He realized that he wasn't going to be able to get on the stairs, so instead of waiting further back where a damage boost would have knocked him off, he just charged into the enemy just to make sure that he wasn't going to fall off.
Slogger's not really playing nice either. So that was 2 cycles off of perfect for Slogger. Not a lot you can really do about that. Slogger is either going to play nice or he's going to be up a blood. And typically he's a blood. So he's conserving hearts here. Going through 2 crosses, which is still okay.
Yeah, he should have enough crosses here for the rest of the round.
Yeah.
Close.
You need like 18 hearts is optimal for the drag fight for sure. Because you need a 6 cycles.
Yeah, you can still get away with 3 pips with 2 crosses thrown in the early cycles as well.
So unfortunately for Skipsy, he does not get the triple back, but he is having 2 that's plenty. And he gets an unoptimal spawn as well. Just don't go into the pit. Don't go in the pit. Don't go in the pit. And with that sound, we're heading our way into Dracula's final chamber.
Yeah, he's got plenty of hearts. 23. He can be frivolous with his sub-weapon usage.
Phase. That's 1.
Yeah, we really don't want Track to spawn anywhere near the fringes around the edges. As long as he's in the middle somewhere, it's not too bad.
3. 4. 5.
There's a small chance that he can get a 6.
It's gotta be perfect though. Like he's gotta spawn in the exact perfect spot.
Like that?
That's close.
He got juggled by the lightning.
7 cycles.
7 cycles great for a race though.
Exactly. This time is great for a race. It's gonna be like 33, like 28, something like that.
Yeah, that's a really nice race time. Yeah, I was calling 34 either, but yeah, he flew through that last stage.
33-26. I was off by 2 seconds. Still, GG to Vruche. That was a very clean run. It only had 1 death, and that was in stage 1. And that 1 death cost him 20 seconds. So that was almost a sub 33.
Yeah. Definitely a reason that he's top seed in the tournament.
Oh, God.
That was something else. I like how when you hit those spikes, the boost that it gives you puts you on top of the platform.
That's just, my hands are on my face at this point. It's like, oh my God, are you kidding me? That's demoralizing. Because the hit box on that thing is just awkward. It's not like a typical spike. It's like it extends a little bit.
Yeah, the smooth side of the spikes are just as deadly as the points.
And unfortunately, Skipsy does not do the backup strat to get a double cross early. He's skipping the cross entirely, actually.
Yeah, we're going whip only for the rest of this, it looks like.
Hate when I get that slow cycle of platforms, which I know it can all be manipulated, but still, it's annoying when you get it.
Whip only Slagra. Something I'll definitely see in a whip only run, and a low percentage.
No. That's the answer to that. No.
It's actually not that bad.
Yeah.
You say this.
Well, the thing is, like the first phase of Slagra is not as bad as a lot of people think. The only thing you have to like really worry about is the dives that he'll do, that he'll rarely do. Like, ugh.
Yeah, it's like a 20% chance he'll do a dive. Maybe less than that, actually. But all right, so Skipsy's not playing this just perfectly here. Ultimately, what you want to do is, in order to avoid Slagra's little dives here, is whenever you hear the ka-toom, whenever you hear the toom out of the ka-toom, you jump and jump away from him, and you're usually safe.
Yeah, a lot of people think you're jumping away, but you're actually kind of jumping over him. All right, on to Gaibon. This audio is a lot lower.
It is. So when Gaibon does that and you're doing this whip only, you have to stand straight up. That way you do not eat any of the blasts to the face. I know this because I used to not be able to make it to this section of crosses. That was bad. Like, really bad. There were days, I just want everyone to know, there were days when I was speedrunning this and my time was fucking 2 hours. Excuse my language.
Yeah, this game is very difficult.
It
rewards you for as good as you get, but the harder you push, the harder it pushes back.
This
A
is
lot
true.
of the more difficult strategies are just, you know, require perfect inputs in order to not die on the spot. I don't want to push the volume too much further. Yeah, watch out for that giant scythe. That'll hit you for 5 bars of health.
That's the only thing it does. 5 damage. That's the only thing that does 5 damage in this game.
I believe you're correct. Because lightning from Dracula's 4. So
Big Mudman does 4. Back in stage 3.
yeah. Blood skeletons are 4.
Are we going whip only on the Drac fight too? Looks like it.
Legit.
He just said okay. Wait, what is he doing?
Oh,
Now he's gonna get it.
Getting a little excited. All right, and all you people watching, don't forget to stick around. We've actually got a second race coming up after this between myself and Shin David.
Oh yeah, I guess I need to sign up for the commentary on that one too. I get to curse you.
Yeah, I know Skipsy's doing some commentary on that too, so it'll be awesome to have both you guys doing that.
For sure. Yeah, our match is going to be the first losers round match.
Nice.
Yes, so I lost to Level Engine, and then you lost to Nice Guy. Speaking of that, Vruche will be playing. Vruche will be racing against Nice Guy in the winner's semifinals for that match. So we got a long way to go to climb.
I can't
the
remember
lower bracket
matches.
Your next match is against Dragon Master.
Oh yeah, that's right. I said that earlier.
Yeah. The winner of that one will go against Level Engine for that one.
Hopefully, Dragon is out of shape. That'll help a little bit. It's all right for me to wish him to be out of shape, right?
I want my rematch versus Dragon Master at some point during this tournament. So knock him into losers, and then we can fight it out.
I'll do my best.
All right, Skipsy.
So Skipsy just finishes outside of the sub 40 range. Still a very good race from both players. Skipsy had a lot of bad luck there. What stage was it? It was
stage A for sure, because he took a couple of bumps, and he also took a lot of bumps on the stage 7.
A and 4. 4 was pretty rough. Other than that, that was a really good race from both players. So good job on that. Let's see here.
All right, in that case, so already the bracket's already updated for that. Skipsy's next race would be against Beef Robber.
And I have raced Beef Robber yesterday.
Alright, I think Skipsy's here. He wants to join in for a little bit for a quick talk before our big race, my race with Mr. DD himself. Welcome, Skipsy.
Hey guys.
The channel.
Well,
how is it going? Was it fun to watch? I was so. Oh my gosh.
It was. It was a great watch.
So Vruche finishing up with a 33. I can't imagine what he pulled off.
He died in stage 1. Don't worry about it.
It was fun to watch that. It was actually pretty fun to watch that one death that he got.
1 free clip?
No, he took an extra hit, so he was down to 1 health.
Oh.
And his cross didn't kill the guy that hides behind the pillar. He kind of comes out with the club.
Yeah.
And he just like jumped through him, assuming he was gonna die, and got hit.
Wow, that's cruel.
It was also pretty funny because he died the same frame that he hooked onto the ring, so he didn't actually die until he let go of the ring and touched the ground again.
Must have been really crazy to watch and to explain. Yeah, I had some issues. I think I should replace my controller at some point.
I think that's with like a decent amount of the other runners right now, including myself. Like my Y button's like literally like wearing out now, and same thing with my down on my D-pad.
For me, it's a jump button. I'm using B for jump, and it started making issues in stage 2. The part short before the frog, right? I couldn't. I normally jump, get the 5 heart, then jump again and whip the bat and have no issues. But this time I didn't jump at all. Didn't. Only got the heart later, and then got hit again by the bat because I don't know. This was the only thing that was mildly upsetting, but yeah, this stuff happens. Like at some point, your controller is just to die.
Yeah, especially playing a game like this where you're pretty rough on it with all the inputs you have to make.
Yes, there's a lot of inputs in this game. People underestimate it, but if people start playing and they realize, oh my gosh, now I have to whip cancel this and jump there immediately and have continuous jumps to reduce lag, stuff like this, where you have tons of inputs.
Was there anything that you were really happy about while you were playing through? Like any spots that you just clutched and were really stoked about hitting?
Stage 9 gold.
Oh yeah, it was? That's awesome.
2 seconds. 2 seconds. Nothing big, but yeah, it was a good run because of that. Like everything else was, like everything was a bad split in my splits, right? Like everything gave plus time, but stage 9 was gold.
That's amazing. I think there was a gold stage 9 in the race about an hour ago too.
Nice.
Or no, it was gold stage A, I think.
That's even crazier. I could have golded stage A too, but before the race, I was practicing the fast climb in stage A, and it worked fine, right? In practice, it always works fine. But the moment you put it in your attempts or you start a race, right? Like it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, for
Just
sure.
magically.
So it looks like Vruche isn't able to pop into commentary here. So I'm going to wrap up myself, leave Frozen here with you guys, and get ready to race. So get ready.
That'll be the
Good
same
luck
for me as
and
well.
have fun in your race.
The race room is already up, David, by the way.
Already on all right, let me
Sorry,
finish
let
setting
me
up and I'll go
see
in
it.
there.
Well, I should join that as well, right?
You can